Hi, I'm Nelly Knitter, and I am going to teach you how to do the decrease in our sock after you've done the turn and the pickup of your heel. So, like I said at the end of the last video, you have 25 stitches on this needle, so you need to get back to the 16 stitches that are on that needle. So the way we're going to do that is on our first needle, we're going to knit until we get to the last 3 stitches. So I'm going to knit all 22 of those stitches until I get to my last 3. Okay, so now I'm at my last 3 stitches. So I'm going to do a decrease now, similar to the decrease that we did in our turn, and I'm going to slip knit these stitches. So slip those 2 onto my right hand needle, insert my left hand needle into both those stitches, and knit through. And then I knit that stitch. Okay, now I'm on my long needle of 32, and my long needle of 32 always stays 32 stitches, so I'm simply just going to knit this needle. Okay, so now I've worked my second needle, now I'm onto my third needle. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did with this needle, and I'm going to decrease close to my long needle. So I'm going to knit that first stitch, and then I'm going to do my decrease. And this is kind of similar to our the turn of our stock, where we would purl 2 together, but since we're back in the round, we're going to do the opposite, and we're going to knit 2 together, and then I knit to the end of this needle. Okay, so that's my first decrease round. Here I usually try and take my knit, my kachi, and use this for my decreases to keep track of my rounds so that I know if I'm decreasing or not decreasing. So when it's 0 or when it's an even number, I know that I'm going to be doing a decrease round. When it's an odd number, I know I'm going to be doing a knit round. So we always alternate a decrease round and a knit round when we do socks, when we do these decreases. So the next round I'm not going to show because it's a knit round, and that should be pretty straightforward for you. Okay, so now I finished my knit round, so I'll show you one more time how to do your decrease round, which is pretty simple. So we're going to knit to the last 3 stitches on our first needle. Okay, so I've got to my last 3 stitches. I'm going to do my slip, slip, knit, decrease. Slip those 2 onto the right hand needle, insert my left needle, and knit the 2 of those stitches together, and then knit the last stitch. Okay, so now I've done my decrease on my first needle. Second needle, I never decrease, so I'm just knitting all these stitches, all 32 of them across. Alright, so now I'm on to my third needle. Remember, I always decrease on the closest side to my long stitches. So I always knit the first stitch. I never do my decrease right next to the needle. And then I knit the 2 of these together. And then I knit to the end of my needle. Okay, so now I'm done that. Give myself another click. And I'm going to keep doing my decreases like that, alternating between knitting and a decrease round until I get 16 stitches on each of these needles. And that should be when my counter gets up to 17 will be my last decrease round, and then 18 would be the next round where we just keep knitting until the end of our sock. And I'll show you what happens when we get to the end of our sock.